I was 14, steeped in vehement admirations and impatience for the reality to which I would travel once released from that long prison sentence, my childhood. End almost in sight. Already in my junior year, I'd finished high school while still 15. And then all would unfold. Meanwhile, I was waiting. I was doing time, still 14. Recently transferred from the desert of southern Arizona to the coastland of Southern California. Another new setting, with fresh possibilities of escape. I welcomed that. My peripatetic widowed mother's remarriage in 1945 to a handsome, bemedaled, and beshrapnelled Army Air Forces ace who'd been sent to the healing desert to cap a year-long hospitalization. He'd been shot down 5 days after D-Day. Appeared to have grounded her. The following year, our newly assembled family, mother, stepfather, kid sister, dog, notionally salaried Irish nanny left over from the old days, plus the resident alien, myself, had vacated the stucco bungalow on a dirt road on the outskirts of Tucson, where we'd been joined by Captain Sontag, for a cozy shuttered cottage with rosebush hedges and 3 birch trees at the entrance of the San Fernando Valley, where I was currently pretending to sit still for a facsimile of family life and the remainder of my unconvincing childhood. On weekends, my now out-of-uniform but still military perky stepfather marshaled sirloins and butter-brushed corn tightly wrapped in tinfoil on the patio barbecue. I ate and ate. How could I not, as I watched my morose, bony mother fiddling with her food? His animation was as threatening as her apathy. They couldn't start playing family now. Too late. I was off and running, even if I looked every inch the baby-faced, overgrown elder daughter, effusively munching her 4th ear of corn. I was already gone. In French, one can announce, while lingering unconscionably, Je suis moellement parti. There was just this last bit of childhood to get past. For the duration, that wartime locution that gave me my first model of condescending to present time in favor of the better future. For the duration, it was permissible to appear to enjoy their receptions, avoid conflict, gobble their food. The truth was, I dreaded conflict, and I was always hungry. I felt I was slumming in my own life. My task was to ward off the drivel. I felt I was drowning in drivel. The jovial claptrap of classmates and teachers, the maddening bromide I heard at home, and the weekly comedy shows festooned with canned laughter, the treacly hit parade, the hysterical narratings of baseball games and prize fights, radio, whose racket filled the living room on weekday evenings and much of Saturday and Sunday, was an endless torment. I ground my teeth. I twirled my hair. I knotted my nails. I was polite. Though untempted by the new tribal delights of suburban childhood that had quickly absorbed my sister, I didn't think of myself as a misfit, for I assumed my casing of affability was being accepted at face value. Here, the fact that I was a girl seeps through. What other people thought of me remained dim consideration, since other people seemed to me astonishingly unseeing as well as uncurious, while I longed to learn everything. The exasperating difference between me and everyone I'd ever met, so far. I was certain there was a multitude like me, elsewhere, and it never occurred to me that I could be stopped. If I didn't mope or sulk, it was not just because I thought complaining wouldn't do any good. It was because the flip side of my discontent, what indeed throughout my childhood had made me so discontented, was rapture. Rapture I couldn't share, and whose volume was increasing steadily. Since this last move, I was having near nightly bouts of jubilation. For in the 8 houses and apartments of my life before this one, I had never had a bedroom to myself. Now I had it, and without asking. A door of my own. Now I could read for hours by flashlight after being sent to bed and told to turn off the light, not inside a tent of bedclothes, but outside the covers. I'd been a demon reader from earliest childhood. To read was to drive a knife into their lives, and therefore a promiscuous one. Fairy tales and comics. My comics collection was vast. Compton's Encyclopedia, the Bobbsey Twins and other Straightmeyer series, books about astronomy, chemistry, China, biographies of scientists, all of Richard Halliburton's travel books, and a fair number of mostly Victorian-era classics. Then, drifting to the rear of a stationery and